Good morning or good afternoon. Glad to be here. We are excited about being 4-1 at home, and excited about starting off really well at Fant here in Monroe. But obviously, have been plagued with some injuries again this year, and looking forward to getting everybody healthy and back on the floor and a little bit healthier for conference season. It's just another year during our program, program building, program changing, just with injuries. And, that's been problematic. But all the same, we've been able to get some wins here at home, and that's been exciting. But we've played a great, really tough, good non-conference schedule thus far that's challenged us despite the injuries, and helped some of our youth and our young players get better, thrown them in the fire. And we've been able to see some instant improvement despite some of the scores.
Coach, how would you assess the state of Sunbelt women's basketball this year, and what are you looking forward to most heading into conference play here at the end of the month?
It's really good. Gosh, our league is tough. It's as tough as any of our leagues in the country. I mean, you can see that by some of the games that we've won as a league thus far, during the season. I mean, Little Rock and UTA and Troy, and we've gotten some really good quality wins as a league. And, we continue to grow as a Sunbelt Conference, and, it's going to continue to get better. We've got some really quality players in our league, and I think it's going to be extremely competitive as we continue to move forward.
Coach, with such a young team, how does going to something like the Vanchanceller event, where you get 3 games in 3 days, both on the court and the time you're able to spend together, how is something like that beneficial for you?
Gosh, it was so good, Sean. It was great for us. Number one, we had not been to a tournament in this program in such a long time. Not one of those players on my roster had been to a tournament other than the conference tournament last year. And so if you think about that, that was something that was a goal of ours coming in when we took over the program, to take them into that setting. And what does, tournament setting, postseason setting look like, just for them to be able to be around, NCAA tournament basketball and good competitive basketball, and teach them what it looks like to walk into a venue and to walk into, a locker room and walk into a shoot around and, walk into that setting, and so it was incredible. It was great to be around Coach Chancellor. It was great to honor him. It just, the whole weekend was really good for our growth. It was great for, great for the game. It was great for the respect of the game, to honor a man like him who's done so much for us as coaches, as players. And of course, Chrissy Sides on her staff played for him at Ole Miss, and Coach Chancellor's been a great friend of mine. He called several of my games when I was at McNeese playing for championships. And so, it just was a really special weekend for us. We grew a lot as a team. The score that may not indicate it, but, we played some good basketball at times, especially against New Mexico and SFA. We held New Mexico to, 25 less possessions, than they average. We had some good growth, some really good growth. But for the main thing, we took big steps as a program even to be there.
How do you get that message across to your team where they're experiencing so much growth, but maybe the wins aren't coming, and sort of go through that process with them?
Well, we're really open and honest. We talk about those things a lot, taking over the program. We knew the shape that was in, that it was in. And, we try to just be, really honest about what we're doing and the process that it's going to take. We talk about it in recruiting. and, we talk about it, really daily, the work ethic it's going to take and just kind of the process of, you know, just the steps like going to the tournament, and who we're going to play, and look, we're going in it to win, but however, we're also going in it for the experience. If you've not been in that setting, you've got to learn from the setting, number one. And, I always talk about in non-conference, you go to things like that to prepare you for a conference tournament, so you don't want to go to things, if you've never been to them, so to speak. So like we're now going to go to a conference tournament, and we've been in that setting before, and so, I think you should practice, what you're going to do later. You should play teams in non-conference that look like your conference opponents. You should, go to things that help prepare you for things that you're going to do later. And, that's what non-conference is all about. So, and to answer your question, I think we're really candid about what we're doing, with in the recruiting process and with our current players, and, this is a process, and unfortunately, we haven't been able to have the consistency that we want because, like we feel like, the injuries have really played a huge part. Diamond Brooks going down with an Achilles, Jada Anderson was a point guard we felt like could come in and really help. She tore her ACL earlier this year. Last year we had a slew of injuries. Some of those kids have become available this year. Some, again, are still, trying to come back. Kyron Whittington's out, right now. So, I mean, so we get one and one goes down. Kiara Brimsey, we started the year without her. She's our returning leading scorer. Garabeth Self was out most of last year in and out, and she was the freshman of the year 2 years ago. So it's been, my first year, we lost Lauren Fitch, who was our leading scorer. So it's been a point guard a year, or an important player a year. And for a rebuilding program, that's really important. And, I think we try to make sure they understand that. At the same time, it gives others opportunities. And we're trying to make sure they all understand they've got opportunities and it's going to pay off in the long run.
Coach, thank you for your time today. Really appreciate you being on.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you guys.